it's another thing to understand white folks. There's a difference. Now let me give you an example on white folks' side. The average redneck or the average ignorant person is a racist because they have been trained in a system that they dislike white people dislike black people based on what they were trained and what they heard and based on a tradition. And most black people say, well, if those white people were to get education on us, they would like us better.
That's right.
Unfortunately, this is wrong. Those ignorant white people hate us based on what they were trained, based on their tradition and what they heard certain things, and based on someone basically giving them untruths about us and basically simply not knowing us in the aspect of not only the stereotypes of what was given to them. You know, so that's one form of racism. But the other form of racism is those white people who do know us. It's a form of jealousy and a form of knowing that we are the original people on the earth and they must keep us down. Now that's a learned white man. There's a difference. Now, how is it now? Because the people who do the devastating things on black people is not the regular prejudice, white prejudice. The difference between prejudice and racism. That's just your own prejudice. And I think that basically humans themselves have that type of thing based on their personal experience with somebody. And that's where you get the common white folks. But the people who affect our lives, policymakers and world rulers and dictators, those particular people do not decide that we are the enemy based on they just don't simply like us because of our color. They decide that we're the enemy because they know our history. And they know that motherfucker, we are the shit. They know that we are the original people. They know we run it, and they know the history. And when the dust clear, we're going to have a final say-so. So this is different why they have to hold us down. It is different why they have to hold us down, but the simple doggone fact is they are the elite of Masonic members. And that elite says, and I've talked about this before, that what happens here is when they go over into the Masonic world and they cross over, the first thing they do on the night of their initiation, white initiation, the night that they pass the burning sands into the world of Masonry, when they pass and when they take off the veil, there's a white man waiting, a black man waiting there. They go get an old black man waiting there. And they have that black man in the lodge, handcuffed, blindfolded, or whatever. And they say, this is your true father, and you must always hold him down. So what we're talking about here is a battle of supremacy. Just like Francis Cress Welsing say, white genetic annihilation. If our fall is their rise, and our rise is their fall. We're talking about a world system here. That's what black people don't understand. Yes, you might meet. I have met white people that was cool with me.
But you still don't trust the ass.
Yeah, they were cool with me, right. But as individuals, they don't have the power to affect me as an individual. Right. So I would have no reason to distrust them in that particular aspect because I know this motherfucker ain't got the power to damn hurt me. But we're talking about a collective group and a world system. And that's the problem about racism. What black people don't understand is when they deal with white people, they're only dealing with white people on the individual aspect. And they fail to understand as a collective world system, somebody got to be on top and somebody got to be on the bottom. And although it's becoming increasingly, you're finding white people now at all walks of life that is nicer to you. And they treat you better than what they did in the past. They can afford to do that now because you got to understand. They run the entire planet. So by them owning the entire planet, they don't have to be the type of imperialistic racists that they were 100 years ago. Or 60 years ago. Now they run the entire planet. So naturally they can say, hey, we can all get together. Right. It's based on a owner and a subservient relationship. You don't own shit. So they don't feel threatened by you to say that we must hold them down in that particular social manner. You see what I'm saying? But the elite feel threatened by you because the simple fact that they know ultimately it's our planet. So when you see white people saying, let's all get together and why can't we get along? Hell, we don't own shit. We don't own nothing. So therefore we're not a threat. But let's say if it was, because that's a master-slave relationship there. Well, let's say if we had an equality going on. And we own the portion and they own the portion. Then they would have problems. Then you see another story. And they only got this way now because they have taken over the entire planet. So there they can have a little humaneness about them, or the appearance of being humane, because the simple fact we don't own nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Let's just look at just things that they think of when they think that just on a uneven level. Let's take affirmative action. Let's take any little entitlement programs that we got, whereas the white man basically still owns things, but he feels that whatever little crumbs he's giving us is too much, then they got problems. So if they got problems with the fucking crumbs that they give us. You understand what I'm saying? And it is basically psychologically and mathematically right to train your slave to be up to par where you give him a certain amount of opportunities because he's going to do right by you.
That's right.
But even in that particular level, these motherfuckers say no. The crumbs is too much for you. And we know the last 10 years has been an ongoing drive to cut off the entitlement programs that they have given us, and as a result, they have devastated black communities around the world. Just look at the black construction, the black construction sites, and black people that work in construction and building. They can't even get doggone contracts because they cut out certain laws. So even the crumbs, when they even think it's even the aspect of equality, which is not, even the minimum wage they got problems with. You see what I'm saying? They got problems with. So there is a master-slave relationship. So when they appear to be humane, that just means that they own every damn thing. If the shoe was on the other foot, if you just had a third of what they got, they would have problems. You see what I'm saying? They would actually have problems. So this is a great day today because it's